Hi everybody, it's me, Jordan Long here, and today I'm gonna probably make this video one more time, then I'm gonna move on from it. Now, when you're Oriental or Asian, there's always gonna be that debate over what the people prefer to call themselves. Now, the Orient is a region of Asia. Actually, it's a region. Every continent is divided into regions, and Asia is no exception. So it's a region of Asia where people like me came from, okay? Where the Oriental races came from. Now, I'm not here to talk about characteristic thing them basing on their language or their culture or their religion, or, their disability or handicap, mental condition, birth defect, or sexual orientation or gender, anything like that. I'm talking about the argument over what to call us, because Oriental is the actual term for the race, even though the Oriental race has subgroups, and each subgroup is defined by their nationality. So there's always going to be this debate. I call myself Oriental. That's what I chose to put down on my photo identification when I had a photo identification, and that's what I put down my driving license too. And I'm always expecting someone to, be like this. Oriental? Don't you mean Asian? Well, Asian is just a general term for anyone who lives in Asia, regardless of they being Caucasian, Hispanic, or Arab, or Hindu, or black, or red, or Aboriginal, or Oriental. Okay? So, I can't use that term, Jordan says, because that term just applies to anyone who lives in Asia regardless. Alright? And if you think, and if you're having a problem with the term Oriental, okay, I chose Oriental. We're Orientals, regardless of our difference in culture, our difference in religion, our differences in our nationality, for example, the difference in our race. Well, I never really found anybody other arguing that. I mean, when I got my photo identification a long time ago, and when I eventually got my driver's identification or driver's license, I mean, I don't really remember anybody ever arguing with me with it. Alright, you want to go with Oriental, that's fine. There. It's like this. And then people would look at your photo identification, your driver's license. They would see race and they'd say Oriental. And then it would be like, wait a minute, don't you mean Asian? Wait a minute, don't you mean Asian? Well, yeah, Oriental, Jordan says. Asian is just a general term, and then you find yourself having to explain the whole thing to them. I just find that very odd. No, not that there's nothing wrong, but I just find it very odd. Most people use the term Asian. Some use the term Oriental too, Jordan says. And I don't really think I got time to sit here and explain it all to you. And I don't think you want to hear me explain, the whole thing about Asian just being a general term for anyone who lives in Asia regardless of their race. And that's true. The term Asian refers to any person living in Asia or the continent of Asia, regardless of their race or their nationality or their culture or their religion or their handicap, disability, birth defect, medical condition, sexual orientation, or gender. Okay? And you can make that argument for anyone living in any other continent, and regardless of country, okay? Because countries or nation states or city states, tend to blur the line, but generally, regardless of all those things that could make a person different, Asian is just a term for anyone, regardless of any of those differences, that lives in the continent of Asia, okay? And now I'm an Oriental. That's my race, okay? That's pretty much the part of Asia, the Orient, basically, where our races came from, or where we went to after the Tower of Babel, when all of the Asian, Tibetan, the Japanic, and the Polynesian languages, and the Filipino and the Filipino languages were created by God. Okay, now you people are gonna, if you want to debate on that, go right ahead. Now some people are gonna argue, but I'm not here to make that. Anyway, regardless of all that, it's Oriental. I prefer Oriental. If you prefer Asian, that's fine. Just remember what the definition of Asian actually means. Okay? And nobody's ever gotten offended over it either. Oriental, don't you mean Asian? I'm offended that you would even use that instead of you use Oriental instead of using Asian. So that's it. I'm Jordan Long, and I hope you enjoyed this video.